You're not Adrian.
I've changed a little bit. I got some work done.
Yeah. Adrian's on holiday. Yeah. And Kimmo's, I hope, at the shop.
Should we talk about Adrian?
Oh, I think the story of Adrian's escapades, for full context, Adrian's on holiday in Bali. So, and he's put up a few stories of something that's gone on. I think it'll be funny we just let him talk about it next week.
Or should we just like make it seem like very, very bad?
A lot of things have happened to Adrian over the last couple of days. So I've brought in Thomas.
Hi.
So this is Thomas. Thomas is our, I suppose, you are.
My
part
name's
of the
been
team
mentioned.
now, aren't you?
My name's been mentioned a few times.
You've mentioned a lot in the videos because we always rope you in. You're doing all our social media now, pretty much.
Yes.
Virtually everything. Ooh, that's going to annoy me.
What?
See the little thing?
Do you want me to fix it?
Can you just flick that?
Okay.
Like, because this is what you're good at is... There we go, because I noticed there was a big bright light on your face.
Are we
Yeah,
good
now
now
you're not as blown out.
Are we good now?
Yeah.
You're just calling me white?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Thomas does all our social media.
Yes, I do.
All the fancy reels and everything you see going up all the time, you're the brains behind all them.
Yes, I'm at the shop a lot.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of content.
Yeah, and I think it's been working. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I think it's one of those things that when we were talking about like photos and videos, because we only started doing videos realistically at the start of this year.
Heavy videos.
Yeah, like heavy reels and stuff like that. Last year was like a lot of photos with the occasional reel. But I find that reels are a bit more engaging than photos. So, you pump out more videos, the more engagement you'll probably get.
Yeah. Because we really only did a few reels dedicated for the gym.
Yeah.
Last year, like a few.
Just a couple of
walkthroughs and that sort
promotional
thing.
gym stuff like that, yeah.
And so this year it's kind of orientated, which if you follow us on any of the social media, oh my God, the phone is going off like crazy. No, if you follow us on any social media, you probably notice that basically all our media has changed from just photo orientated to short form reels, whether it be breaking down products or ingredients, or yesterday we put up the creatine one.
Yeah, the creatine one.
Yeah.
The day before that was the what's happening at Australian Muscle happening.
Yeah, that's
video.
the weekly one, which we're now doing. And I think, like I said, it's something that you notice the momentum of building up with reels and especially video content the more you do them.
Yeah.
Which is where bringing you in has been such a valuable sort of thing. So
And you're loving being in front of the camera every single day.
yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
Well,
I've become more comfortable with it. It's definitely something that at first which I like the ones, we should actually plug your social media because you put up some of the bloopers and everything that we do.
Oh,
but there's still a lot of takes with some of them, but I think it's easier to get out what you need to do in a quick, timely fashion. Like we've got a good rhythm with it all now.
Yeah. It's there's a lot of bloopers, but that more of those bloopers are the ones of just trying to, read the labels of stuff. And remembering. Like this week at Australian Muscle one's a fun one because
maybe actually we'll keep on the train of thought you're doing. Maybe let's talk about like some tips with social media because you've been doing quite a lot with a few businesses now. Yeah. So when it comes to reels, like what have you found that's been quite valuable? Because like you're talking about the one we do, which is every Monday we do the this week video.
Yeah. Like the thing I find with those ones, because it's engaging, because it's not really it's a sales pitch, but it's not a sales pitch. So basically it's like you're obviously trying to promote your brand, but it's not like one of those you're just sitting down in front of a camera and it's 15 seconds of you, talking about, whatever you're trying to promote. Having a bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? A bit more life to it, where it's a bit more quirkiness to it, kind of
personality.
Yeah,
almost?
More personality. It's kind of a bit more engaging because basically with social media nowadays, with YouTube videos, Instagram Reels, all that, you want to try and catch their attention within the first second. So having something quirky at the start will guarantee that they might watch all the way through. So having some of that quirkiness like we do with the Australian Muscle videos, you don't have to be so serious with it. The other thing is obviously using captions, which that's why you've probably noticed that there's like captions coming up on. Well, yeah, I guess you've been doing the captions on all the other ones recently as well. Like beforehand.
We did them on all of the any of the Thursday Thunder reels.
Yeah. But all the reels is like even using captions because it's something popping up on the screen every second. It's guaranteed to keep your attention. So I don't know what the analytics is with the reels, but I'd assume it's good.
All of them, or if we compare it to even just December, not even like comparative to last year, everything is in it's hard reading the Instagram analytics because there's a lot of data that you don't get, but the ones that you do get, everything's in green, which is always a positive. So if it's green, it's obviously
if it's green, it's good. If it's red, it's bad.
Yeah. So like we've noticed a big change in like it's both the organic followers and then we don't do any paid promotion. So, but it's a big change in the viewers from actual followers and also non-followers have increased.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's where like the consistency of posting reels has really helped because it just keeps you in that sort of rhythm of people see your stuff constantly coming up.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. Consistency is always, going to be the main thing. Like if you're going to post like, I don't know, once every couple of weeks, you're probably guaranteed not to grow. Yeah. Because like you're not, I guess, active on social media. But if you're posting like every single day or, every second day, that's pretty consistent. You do that over a long period of time, you're guaranteed to grow.
Yeah. Yep.
But that's where I think some people are just like, like, oh, my social media's not growing or my YouTube channel's not growing. But I'm like, you're posting like once every couple of months. Yeah. Like you're not going to grow.
Well, it's the same thing because actually talking about like posting consistently because you've been doing it now on YouTube this year. Yeah. So that's a big thing that you've changed is posting every day a reel, isn't it?
Well, so I've had a YouTube channel since 2000 and what are we in now? 2024. Yeah. 2016 I started a YouTube channel, which was just random photography stuff. And then I stopped doing that. And then only recently it's like, I'll just start uploading all of my stuff from Instagram to YouTube and try to keep Instagram more photos, but YouTube Shorts is more like the video style thing or like what it's actually meant for.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I think I started uploading like 2.5 weeks ago or something like that.
Yep.
And I've gained like, I think 65 subscribers.
Yep.
And
like especially like this doesn't sound a lot, but especially on YouTube because it's so saturated.
Yeah.
Getting and we've noticed it with the Aussie Muscle channel, it's like you'll get in the rhythm if you're posting daily, it rewards you so heavily on the algorithm.
Yeah.
But then if you post like it's regularity is the biggest sort of thing. So we do one every week and that helps. But if you don't, it falls off so quickly and getting one subscriber is quite hard now. Yeah.
Like, and with YouTube stuff, it's like I find that posting shorts is easier because obviously everything's gone to that short form content.
You've made shorts out of everything.
Yeah, I basically just make shorts out of anything in my day-to-day crap. Yeah. And because I can find like 15 seconds and just like upload it because I can upload it from my phone.
There was something you said the other day because we were talking about your mum making content.
Yeah.
Because she's been doing a few renovation videos and that. And what was the quote about?
Done is better than perfect.
Yeah. And I think that's something I fall into the trap of as well. And we're trying to be a perfectionist on some of the stuff you put out. Because social media, and especially with reels, it's such a short lifespan of a reel. So like you'll get it onto, because we post on Instagram. Sorry if you're bored with if you're watching this and you're bored, but this is going to be quite social media heavy.
Don't be bored.
But I think we've noticed, especially like the half-life of a clip is basically 30 minutes to an hour for a lot of them. It's like you'll get it up there, you get the burst, and then if it's really good, then you kind of get like it'll get shot back into the rhythm like a couple of hours later, and you're like, all of a sudden there's like 50 extra likes.
Well, it's like TikTok.
Yeah.
It's like you upload a TikTok, and it's like you get probably 30 minutes of like getting likes, getting views, and then it just cuts.
That's what ours is. Like, I don't understand TikTok at all in terms of like posting algorithm or anything, because I put up the same reel that we put up on Instagram will go at TikTok at the same time. And it's like you'll get a flood of, it's usually around about 20 to 30 likes in like the first 5 minutes, and it's like at 300 views, and I'm sitting there going like, oh fuck, this is going to be a good one. And then it just burns out to nothing. And then the same thing if we post the next day, if we post the same sort of clip or anything like that, it's then it might then go to like 10K views for no reason. Exactly the same thing. Could even arguably be a worse clip, but it's like even timeline of how long the clips that make such a big difference.
It's always the worst clips that do well.
Oh, well,
like it's
good
always
example was the Faction Labs reel that we made the other week.
Yeah.
So we made this. I had an idea for the new Disorder, which I love the products that come in that you can have fun with, because there's a lot of products. I don't want to make fun of products or make fun of the industry too much, because I think there's a lot of seriousness when it comes to supplements that should be still there. But there's some brands like Faction Labs is a brand that they make fantastic products, but the branding is out there that you can be a bit quirky. So we made the reel where it was like 12 of me on a green screen.
That was fucked.
And it took you what? I think it took us like 3 hours between filming and then you editing it all.
See, that was where it's like one of those, like, I kind of wish it was just done is better than perfect because I tried to be perfect with that video.
Yeah.
And it just annoyed the crap out of me with how many times it was freezing. I'm like, I'm done with this video. 3 hours later, I'm like, fuck this.
That's where I think it's a thing of like also just getting it out sometimes is good because it's like that was one that it was like the amount of work and effort that went into that reel, there was never going to be enough reward for it. In terms of views, like obviously a lot of the reels we use are promotional tools. So like that helps promote that we've got new products in. So we have a return in terms of people coming in and doing and purchasing the product or at least the awareness of products.
Yeah.
But you're never going to get, like, we could have probably put up a 10-second reel of me just going like, hey, Disorder's back in. And it would have done the same thing. Yeah. But that's where it's fun having those sort of clips as well.
Yeah. There could have been like 10 other ways I could have filmed that. And a lot of like easier ways. But I'm like, oh, let's get creative. You know, let's try something different. You know, try to just space it out with all the other videos that we do. Yeah. But yeah, that one, 3 hours for what, 15 seconds?
It wasn't even a long clip. Yeah. No, if I can remember, I'll put up a little thing.
It was 3 hours, 15 seconds, and a whole load of swearing.
Yeah. There was a lot of pain in that one. Yeah. But it was fun.
It was a fun one.
Yeah. And we know the capabilities of a computer with the green screen.
Oh, yeah. The whole, I think I like the green screen ones because it's different and it's fun.
Yeah.
You can get creative with green screens. I should probably talk about that over here. But going back with like that whole, like done is better than perfect. It's like you can sit there trying to perfect something and you'll never, ever, ever get it out or you'll never be happy with it. And that's just not in like, I guess, the creative field. Like it could be really applied to anything. Yeah. But from a creative perspective, it's just like, and like you said, it's like you post something, it'll be up for like 24 hours and you'll never look at it again.
Oh, totally. So how often do you go back through, like apart from to show something to somebody, like I've shown reels that we've made over the last couple of months to somebody very rarely because I'm being like, or I'll send it to somebody going like, they asked about a product. I'm like, cool, I've actually got a reel on it. There it is. Yeah. That's the only, otherwise I never have gone back. And we don't repost the same thing either. So it's like,
well, it's like your own, like if you make personal reels, like how many times do you actually go, oh, I'm going to go to my account, scroll all the way back down to my first ever reel I made. You're probably not going to do that.
Or photos or anything.
I've got like nearly 800 posts on Instagram. Yeah. And I'll probably like look at the first top 6 and that's it. Yeah. Like everything else, I'm just like, oh crap, I actually took that photo. I forgot about that. Yeah. And it might have been like 6 months ago. But yeah, I think the whole done is better than perfect like quote is like I live by with anything. Yeah. Especially content creating. Because like, I could be very much of a perfectionist and I was like 5 years ago.
I think it's good to have a little bit of a balance of both things though. Because then it's like you're still going to get quality, but at least then you're also still going to create the thing and it's not going to go to waste. Because I've been guilty of like you're making something, whether it be for the shop or even personal branding or anything it is, and you're like, you put all this effort into it, and I'm like, you second guess it, and you're like, fuck it, I just won't even post it. And it's like, there's things that I've got made in terms of even down to like graphics and banners for the shop and everything like that are just binned on my computer or like backlog because I'm like, I don't think they're good enough, but it's like they would be fine.
I think even with like, so being like trying to be perfect with like a product, like I think there's a difference with like if you're doing it for yourself, just post it. Like don't sit there and like try and be so perfect over it. But if you're doing it, let's say for a client, let's say if I'm doing it for a commercial client or like for, you know, whatever.
Yeah. So for full context, your main job is for a lot of commercial sort of clients, isn't it?
Commercial independent sort of things. Like, you know, there'll be the occasional like independent sort of like, you know, if you're doing portraits and stuff like that, like I could sit there and spend like hours editing portraits, but by the end of the day, it's like, as long as the client's happy, it's really not up to me with what I think. Like I could edit something, you know, to what I think, but the client might not like it. So it's always ends up being what the client wants. So, but if you're doing like your own personal stuff, like if you're doing personal, like creating reels or whatever and just, you know, uploading to social media, you don't need to spend 3 hours making like a 15-second video. Like it's just stupid.
I think also the other thing, because I've been watching the way you've been making reels and everything as well, is the excuse of equipment is the biggest thing for a lot of people.
I love having this conversation with people.
Because, and we've talked about it with even down to professionals we know, is the, like we've got quite a extensive setup even for this. Like we've got two lights sitting here. There is backlights, which we don't have on because one of them is actually flat. So they're not, the colored lights aren't on. Like even the microphone setup is way too excessive for what we have. So all of this could be downplayed to one camera. We could use natural light, which there is a window there. We could use that, and then we could even have to the point of it's like just the little road mics or anything.
You could just like record the audio from your phone.
But I've been watching you, most of the reels you posted just from your phone.
Yeah, well...
Yeah, and that's the thing I think a lot of people get stuck on when it's like starting either a personal brand or then even a lot of shop stuff is some stuff that we've done for the shop in the past. Recently, we've been using, obviously, you for all the reels, so everything, quality has jumped up. But a lot of the ones in the past, we were using just a phone and people wouldn't know a difference. No. And even photos for products, you can get away with just using just a phone. I think the limitations of like people put on themselves because they don't have a fancy camera is the biggest thing that is then stopping you from just posting consistently as well. Like it doesn't have to be this crystal clear.
It's like when people come up to me, they're like, oh, like I want to like get a camera. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, what are you going to use it for?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, like, I just want to go take photos and just upload it to social media. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. I'm like, what are you looking at? And for people who don't know cameras, it's like cameras can go up to about $20,000. And they'll be like, oh, I want
just the camera too.
Just for the camera.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, I want to buy this brand of camera and this model of camera. I'm like, so you're going to spend $10,000 just to take photos for Instagram? I'm like, you're better off just using your phone. And I'll ask them what phone they have. They're like, oh, I've got the iPhone 15. I'm like, just use that.
The new iPhones are ridiculous as well. And that's why it's crazy. Like we've got a mutual friend, Sam, who does the photos off his phone and they're just wild. Like I've got the camera we're shooting on and that thing is
the equivalent.
It's the same price as the new iPhone. And the iPhone, arguably for how quick and convenient you can chuck something up, is better. Yeah.
And it's like, if I were to put alongside like a video clip of just like a standard video clip from my camera from like an iPhone 15, you really wouldn't know the difference.
God no. Yeah, especially if you put a filter or a slight edit over anything, which most people do now.
And if you're uploading it to like, let's say just social media, no one's going to notice. Like I've uploaded to like Instagram photos from my camera and photos from my phone. You can't tell the difference once you chuck an edit on it.
No.
And it's like the price difference between my phone and my camera is a big difference.
Yeah.
And I'm like, even for my own personal stuff, I'll use my phone because I'm like, one, I can't be bothered to take my camera around. My phone's in my pocket. And it's easier because I can take a photo on my phone, edit on my phone, upload it.
Yeah.
Rather than going through the head fuck of taking the SD card out, editing on my computer, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's having the conversation with people with like, what should I use for social media and like for content creating? It's your phone's the easiest thing. Yeah. And phone quality these days is fantastic. Like the only reason why you'd probably go out and buy a very expensive camera and lenses and lighting is that if you were doing it as a job.
If you're getting paid for it.
Yeah, if you're getting paid for it and you were doing like commercial work for people, then rocking up with a camera looks more professional than rocking up with a phone.
Yeah.
Although I have seen people on Instagram shooting weddings on phones.
I've seen that. It looks cool.
It's starting to become a thing that people are shooting weddings on phones. I'm like,
I wouldn't trust it. Yeah.
I'm like, if you can do it, sure, but
I'd still carry the camera as well. Yeah. All right. So all right. So that's good. I think that's the few tips that, especially we've kind of orientated into, is just get stuff out is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Like, and consistency is like, put effort into it, just making it more consistent with everything.
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to grow, sorry to interrupt, but if you're trying to grow from nothing, that's the first thing, is just make anything.
Well, I was having this conversation with mum as well. It's like, because she's very much a perfectionist and she thinks there's like, this needs to have context or whatever. There's a lot of people in the world and someone will find context with whatever you put out there.
Yeah.
It's like you could put out something that you might not think there's context to. Someone will make some sort of context out of the video.
Yeah.
Because there's an audience out there for practically everything. So if you're in the rut of like, I don't know what to post, or this is not going to blah, 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 just post it because someone will find it interesting.
Yeah.
Although it takes something out of it. Like half of the stuff that I post anyway, it's just like, there's not really a big context to it.
Yeah.
But
it's all just taking the piss out of yourself.
Yeah, it's just taking the piss out of myself. Like that's the context. It's taking the piss out of myself. But there's people that obviously find that amusing.
Well,
so
especially social media can be such a everybody's trying to be so serious with everything.
Don't be serious.
Just post. Just get stuff out. Yeah, and that's what we've noticed, especially with the shop, is the increase in just getting stuff out is so big.
Yeah.
People are starting to appreciate it and notice things like the product, and even I try to keep a lot more seriousness with certain products in there and everything like that, so that way it's not just taking the piss out of just brands. But there's a fine line of like, you can take it seriously, but you can also go, all right, we can have fun with it at the same time. Which is then, I think it's just finding that balance constantly.
Yeah, like we found, it's like, this week at Australian Muscle, you can be a bit more, have a bit more personality to it. But like, obviously, if you're trying to review like creatine or something like that, like the video we posted the other day, you might want to be a bit more serious with that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you're trying to give informative information. Informative? Formative.
Yeah. Informative.
Yeah. Informative information about a product. So you don't want to sit there taking the piss out of it.
No.
You kind of actually want people to be like, oh, okay, so this is what this product does.
Yep.
But yeah, like you said, there are some brands that you can kind of joke around with.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, cool.
But
I think there's something people could take if you're looking for advice on social media there. Not that we're like professionals at it, but I think especially with the work you've done with clients and even the way that it's helped with restructuring our business, because it worked incredibly well with the gym last year, is rebranding and refocusing, especially on improving quality of images with photo side of things.
Yeah.
But now with video, it's like the biggest change. Like I get people coming in and they said they saw a reel of a TikTok I posted about a product, and I'm like, I didn't know that would be the reach. Well, and it's like, that's the sort of thing that's like, all right, I think it's repetitions of getting it in and getting it out constantly.
See, my advice with, I guess, businesses with social media is if you had to pick between doing photos and videos, videos is more ideal.
Yeah.
Because people are just going to swipe past the photo.
Yeah. Well, how often do you just pull out Instagram and you're scrolling through the feed? Not really.
No.
Most of the time it's because somebody sent you a dumb reel.
Yeah.
And then we're like, you get stuck on like, I'll just go up and down. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just go like, I'll open up Instagram, and like half the time Instagram doesn't like show me my own followers. It just shows me reels on my explore page. I'm just like, I'll click on a reel, then you go down that rabbit hole of watching reels for 20 hours.
That's all I do, is I watch reels, or sometimes it's people's stories.
Yeah.
If they've got like 50 different dots on their story though, then I just go,
and then they come up to you the next day saying like, did you watch my story?
Yeah, you watched all of it? Yeah, you answered the question. I'm like, yeah, sure did.
But no, if you have to pick between photos and videos is more engaging. Yeah. People are more inclined to watch a video than look at a photo. Yeah. Because no one's going to sit there, like, even like talking about like with what you do on social media. Do you ever click on the captions on reels? No. But I've seen people when I've seen reels where you click on the captions and there's like this whole fucking story.
Yeah. No, I don't even I've started playing around with what I've been putting in there, and it's getting less and less every time. And it's because we put captions in the actual video. Yeah. People just watch the context of the video, and that's basically it. Yeah.
Like I was saying, it's like with photos, it's like if you have a photo, all your information is going to be in the captions. No one's going to read the captions. No. But if you have a video and you're pretty much stating what was in the caption in the video, then people are going to watch that, because just people watch videos rather than look at photos. Yeah. That's why it's like I don't really post so many photos these days, because videos are more like, it's 2024. It's all video format. Yeah. And every platform's like that now. Yeah. Like all of them are. Like Facebook wants to push you towards their, I think they consider reels on there too. Yeah. I've posted one reel on Facebook. I
think technically the ones we post on Instagram, it does say on there share to Facebook as well. So I think it goes into their thing, but it doesn't.
I think what I saw is like, that Threads thing from Instagram. Yeah. I think they've got like a reels section on there now.
Oh, so it's trying to turn into Instagram.
Basically. Anyway. Yeah. It's like Threads try to beat Twitter. Yeah. And then now there's like a video. I think there's a video section on there or something like that. Yeah. I'm like, now all these platforms are just trying to be the same. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, why? Because I guess it's good for the short form content, but I just find it stupid. Because you said there's like, you go on Instagram, scroll through reels, you go to YouTube. I don't actually watch YouTube videos. I watch YouTube shorts.
See, I still only watch YouTube videos. Well, I use other films for shorts. So I'm like, the short section there is like I'm like, oh, go away. Or it'd be even actually, to be fair, I don't even watch it on my phone. I watch it on a computer or TV. So I'm like, I don't watch YouTube.
Oh, for some reason I thought you said you watch YouTube shorts on your TV. I'm like, what?
No, God, no. I'm not a crazy psychopath. All right, so we've got a couple of minutes. So let's wrap up. What are your main tips then for social media? So what have you found that's worked? It's consistency is the first
So
thing.
consistency is the first one.
Yep.
Trying to have something pop up on the screen like every second. So whether that's captions, whether that's like zooming in on like, you know, different parts of the video.
The dumb faces people pull.
Yeah, I like doing that. And have you noticed that in your videos?
Yeah.
Just adding something like with the Aussie Muscle ones, I'll add like glitches or something like that, or like a sound effect or whatever. Just try to keep something happening to keep someone's attention span. So that'll be 2, just have something happening in the video. 3, I said consistency, didn't I?
Consistency was the first one.
Well, consistency, have something happening. I'm having a giant brain.
I mean,
phase
really,
right now.
you said it before. Just post.
Just post and like don't think too much about it.
Yeah.
It's like if you're a business, maybe think a little bit more. If it's just personal, just post it. Like you know, you're not going to look at it within 24 hours later anyway. So just post it.
Yep.
My face is really itchy right now.
Yeah.
I think
We did just train, so there's probably still residual pre-workout.
And from camera gear, just use whatever you have at your disposal.
Yeah. Use the phone that's in your pocket.
Yeah, if you've got a phone, use a phone. If you do have a camera, use a camera. But whatever you have at your disposal, don't go out and spend thousands and thousands of dollars just to post shit to Instagram. It's pointless.
Yep.
Your phones will do good, and I'm sure you probably will have the new fucking iPhone, so just use that.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I don't know. I'm starting
We
to fade
somehow
away.
managed to ramble for 26 minutes on how to post on social media.
Yeah, but this is like a daily conversation anyway.
I know, it's good.
Because it's me telling you how to post.
I think it was good. Like, I came in here, I didn't have we got nothing new for the shop. So it was like, this is kind of a different sort of thing anyway. So we'll talk about it a little bit more. What about it? I don't want to talk about monsters. Yeah.
Oh.
I'd like to talk about monsters, but nobody from them will get back to me. Yeah. If anybody from Coke will get back to me, that'd be great.
We need monsters.
So there's nothing going on at the shop this week. We've got a heap of new stuff coming in next week. So when Adrian's back on Monday, back working. They'll be talking next week. So I'll give them a few new products, and we'll have about 3 new reels next week on new products.
Is it going to be the products or about his toe?
Oh, I think he'll have a few good stories. Yeah, that's the full context.
It's going to be 25 minutes.
Yeah. There'll be a lot of barley stories for Adrian to tell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a lot of reels to cut up about that too.
100%. Yeah, there'll be a good one.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.